today let's start with chapter number 12, Education and the British Rule. So let's study about the indigenous school first. So English East India Company had completed neglecting the education in India. There are both private and public elementary and higher education, right? और जो boys थे they were taught at home in पाठशाला by the schoolmates. Education was mainly religious. ठीक है, religious था और वो किसके हाथ में था? Brahmins और Muslim ulemas. Right, so the teachers were paid low salary, but gifts were offered to them by the parents of the students, and it was very pleasant. You can see that first 60 years of the British government in India, the East India Company, trading, profit making concern took little interest in the education of the subject. Here, two very minor exceptions of this policy are 1781 Warren Hastings. So 79 में जो डॉन था, he started संस्कृत कॉलेज, और कहाँ स्टार्ट करा था? बनारस में. So the England needed to understand the order to administer the country and they required qualified men, जो किस में हेल्प करे? Administration of law in the court of company. Now what are the aims of the British education? During early year 19th century, East India Company followed policy of indifference in the matter of education. So however, as its activities and area of influence grew, company became the chief agency of spreading modern English education. So what happened earlier in 1834, Macaulay arrived as the member of council in the government, and he was appointed by the president of the committee of public instruction. So Macaulay issued a minute recommending, however, the prejudice against the Indian, learning and ignorant of Indian constitution, and was the appointment of Lord William Banting education policy of the government. It's began to assume more concrete and stable form. So Lord Hardinge जो थे वो एक एजुकेशनल डिस्पेच ऑफ 1844 लेके आते हैं एक एडिशनल सपोर्ट के साथ, एंड व्हाट हैपेंड, ही क्रिएटेड एन इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट इन द स्टडी ऑफ इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज, एंड जो फ्यूचर एस्पिरेंट्स थे आपके गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स के, दे इंक्लाइन द स्टडी इन देयर लैंग्वेज, कि हम अपनी लैंग्वेज में स्टडी करेंगे. फिर वर्ड्स डिस्पैच आता है 1854 में. इट वाज नोन एज वुड डिस्पैच, मेजर चेंजेस इन एजुकेशनल पॉलिसी, Sir Charles Wood, and proposal before board of director of the company improved educational system in India, recommended many improvements, right? And what it established 3 universities, Kolkata, Bombay and Madras, and as well as setting up of educational department. Dispatch lays stress on men education, female education, and on the improvement of vernaculars, right? So what were the effect of British education? A major weakness of education system क्या है? जो आपका मास एजुकेशन उसको हम क्या करते हैं? नेग्लेक्ट कर रहे हैं, उस पर हम ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहे हैं. और जो 94% ऑफ द इंडियन है, they were illiterate in 1911 and 92 in 1920. सो जो emphasis था वो किस पे था आपके? इंग्लिश एज अ मीडियम, इंस्ट्रक्शन इन प्लेस ऑफ लैंग्वेज, एंड इट फर्दर टेंडेड टू क्रिएट वाइड लिंग्विस्टिक. एजुकेशन वाज क्वाइट कॉस्टली, बहुत कॉस्टली था, एंड इट बिकम वाइटल मोनोपोली ऑफ द रिचर क्लासेस इन द सिटी. The education of girls were totally neglected. No funds were set aside for education for girls, right? Company administration also neglected. यहाँ पे जितनी भी जो साइंटिफिक और टेक्निकल जो एजुकेशन थी उसको भी क्या करा गया था? नेग्लेक्ट करा गया. फिर आपका कंसेप्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन आता है टू अचीव द गोल ऑफ पर्सनल, इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल, पॉलिटिकल एंड कल्चरल डेवलपमेंट. ये नेसेसरी था टू मेक एप्रोप्रिएट प्रोविजन. आपको एक एप्रोप्रिएट प्रोविजन बनाना है किसके लिए? इंटीग्रेटेड प्रोग्राम ऑफ एजुकेशन फॉर द पीपल हु हैपन टू बी लिविंग एट डिफरेंट लेवल ऑफ डेवलपमेंट. Our new leaders believed the Indians could govern themselves, right? And Dadabhai Naoroji, he was very much aware. The spread of education introduced people to the idea of democracy and nationalism. So what happened? There remained the problem of unemployment. यहाँ पे जो problem थी ना unemployment की, it was going like this only, and the revolutionary established number of secret society, and number of programs were also initiated by the society, right? केस स्टडी की बात करते हैं अलीगढ़. सर सैयद अहमद खान was born here. He was a rich family in Delhi, right? He wanted Muslims of India to give up their attitudes to the amity. He believed that religious and social life of Muslims could be improved only by enabling modern Western scientific technique. So इन्होंने एक स्कूल फाइंड करा, and he founded at Aligarh Mohammedan Anglo-oriented college, right? Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was a great believer of religious tolerance, and वो किस पे बिलीव करते थे? प्रैक्टिकल मोरालिटी पे, रिलीजियस और प्राइवेट अफेयर्स पे. Moreover, Hindu, Parsis or Krishna, they were freely contributed to the fund of his college. So out of 7 Indian teachers, Hindus being professional, he began to work off Hindu domination to prevent the followers from joining rising national. So he only wanted the backwardness of the Muslims, middle and the upper classes. So he advised all the Indians and particularly the educationally backward Muslims to remove what politics for some. And besides that, he clearly perceived Western education and he abolished what association for the study of Western education. So we can say that so there has been a source of enlightenment and progressive throughout among the Muslims, and he started Mohammedan education through his own periodical Tazbul Akhlaq and effected boldly a change in the method. And then Baroda, he is a British educational policy not applicable in the states. And this is how जो आपका मायो कॉलेज था अजमेर का और सिंधिया स्कूल था in Gwalior, upbringing princes, and in fact progress was much better in some of the princely states. जो महाराजा सयाजी राव थर्ड थे बड़ौदा के, he is one of the his administrative and political reform earned him what administration of the whole India, right? So we can say that Sir Pratap San Gaikwad, इन्होंने महाराजा सयाजी राव यूनिवर्सिटी फाइंड करी on the trust or known as Sir Sayaji Rao Diamond Jubilee Memorial Trust that is extending today also caters the education's need. So we can say that Sayaji Rao recognized, settled, and Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was the architect of Indian Constitution, right? So what he did, he महाराजी सयाजी राव गायकवाड़ ऑफ बड़ौदा यूज्ड टू विजिट इंग्लैंड. वो हर साल जाते थे और जो आउटस्टैंडिंग लोग थे उनके साथ ज्वाइन करते थे एंड दे इमीडिएटली ऑफर जॉब इन द बड़ौदा कॉलेज. ही बोल्डली इंट्रोड्यूस कंपलसरी प्राइवेट की जो प्राइमरी एजुकेशन है वो कंपलसरी है एंड लाइब्रेरी मूवमेंट इज देयर एंड बिफोर 1871 बड़ौदा स्टेट डिड नॉट हैव अ सिंगल गवर्नमेंट स्कूल. सो इन 1882 व्हाट हैपेंड, इट्स फर्स्ट जो 33 स्टूडेंट्स थे. In 1891, they ordered 1907 primary education was made free and compulsory. जिनकी boy की age थी 7 to 12 years and 7 to 10 years. Right at the beginning of the Sayaji Rao, Baroda was beginning British in literacy rate. So what happened? There was 21% literacy compared to 22 in Bombay city. By 1931, there has been a complete reversal. In Bombay city, to 24% it was compared to 41% in Baroda city. Right now the chapter has been completed. Let's move to the exercise. First is Jonathan Duncan started Sanskrit College at Kanpur. Christian missionaries wanted to spread what? Christianity. वो Christianity फैलाना चाहते थे. Right? Next is education of the girls पर. जो education था उसको क्या करा गया? Neglect करा गया. Girls को educate नहीं करा जाता था पहले. Then Thomas Macaulay delivered his famous dash on the Indian education and was known as Macaulay Minute. तो क्या था? एक नोट था, right? So in 1781, Dash set up Kolkata Madrasa, Warren Hastings. Now fill in the blanks. East India Company was a dash company. कौन सी कंपनी थी? ट्रेड करने आई थी. स्पाइसेस का, टी का. Dash in Uttar Pradesh is the home of famous Aligarh University, Aligarh. Dash advocated teaching of Indian history, philosophy, law, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Aligarh Muslim University grew out to the dream and effort of Syed Ahmad Ali Khan. महाराजा सयाजी राव द मोस्ट फेमस रूलर. कहाँ का था ये? बड़ौदा. Now write T for true and F for false statement. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was a Muslim social reformer, true. University is a higher learning center. It's true. Indigenous means an individual person. It's true. In 1781, Warren Hastings set up Kolkata Madras. It's true. Madrasa. Thomas Mackley was the president of Board of Control. False. Now answer the following question. Briefly write the story of growth of national education system. What were the main benefits? Main benefits क्या थे English education के? What did Syed Ahmad Khan do to awaken Muslims? What was the British education का effect क्या? Who was Macaulay? What is Gurukuls? And which were the old learning centers? आपको इतने भी old learning centers मैंने आपको इसमें बताए थे, वो भी आपको यहाँ पे लिखे. Who was Charles Wood and what were the main recommendations? Good dispatch की main recommendation क्या थी? That you have to tell in this question. Now we have completed this chapter. Hope you understood each and everything. Now we will meet in the next class. Thank you.